Support for Veterans Corner Radio is made possible by M&M Printing and the Observer News of Ruskin, Florida.
Welcome to Veterans Corner Radio, a show dedicated to providing information to all those who have served our country's military and to their families. Now, here is your host, combat veteran and educator, retired United States Air Force Lieutenant Colonel Joe Mulberger.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's show. You're tuned in to Veterans Corner Radio, and I'm your host, Joe Mulberger. Today we have a special guest. We have retired United States Navy Rear Admiral Thomas Lynch, and he is going to tell us about his involvement with NewDay USA. And the best way to get a hold of them is by going online to NewDayUSA.com. Sir, welcome to today's show.
Thank you very much, Joe. I appreciate being here.
So tell us about a little bit about, now you're a retired United States Navy Rear Admiral, 2-star Admiral, correct?
Correct,
When did you retire from the Navy, sir?
1 November 95.
95. And how long have you been involved with NewDay USA?
Probably since 2011. I was, when I retired from the Navy, from the Pentagon, I went up to Philadelphia and joined a company called Safeguard Scientifics, a public venture capital company. I did that for a good number of years and then was going to do nothing but pro bono charitable. And I did that for a few years. Then I lost my wife after a very serious illness for about 5 years.
Sorry to hear that.
And, well, thank you. And in 2010, she died in 2010. And then in 2011, I received a call from Rob Posner, the founder and CEO of NewDay USA. And he had just begun utilizing VA home loans. And he decided he wanted somebody on his board, a military person on his board. And I hesitated because I really knew nothing about mortgage lending at the time. But I did agree to come down and get the briefing on what the company was all about. And when I realized that their delinquency rate was 1.9% back in 2011, when fleet average was 7-8%, something like that, and they were doing cash out refi loans only at the time. But I decided that would be a good thing for me to do, to be on the board. The next year I became chairman of the board. And in 2013, we went on TV for the first time. And we had a board meeting in the summer of 2013. Our initial spokesperson was Cal Ripken, the Iron Man from the Orioles, 2,240-some consecutive games, something like that, who was a personal friend. He's a man of integrity, had his own foundation, loves the veterans, and we have a lot of respect for him. And he was doing very well for us. But 6 months later, during the board meeting, they asked me if I would say a few words to the videographer who would put on the website, which I agreed to do, obviously. And they said, "That's not too bad. Do you mind if we put that on TV?" Well, heck no. I mean, I'm here for you. And so where I was a veteran talking to a veteran, and Cal was a baseball player talking to a veteran, it made quite a bit of difference. And so from that point on, I became the face of the company, and was in the spokesman for the company. And so I became executive chairman, which just means that I'm here every day. We have an office here in Fulton, Maryland, where I am today. Our headquarters down in West Palm Beach, Florida, which I wish I was there today. But it's about 80 degrees in West Palm Beach today, and 26 here in Maryland. So, but anyhow, that's what I do.
What got NewDay USA started, and when did they start?
It started really in 25 years ago. A young man by the name of Rob Posner, and with $300,000, he went to a local bank and said, "I'll be happy to sell your loans for you." And from that, he had a group of people went out to the courthouse to get information on your loan, and then he would call one call at a time, one home visit at a time, and to lower the interest rates, and then one hire at a time. And so it grew until about 28. We had the financial crash in 2008, 2009, and that's when he, with the help of a software company manned by Indians, and we had 70 Indians in India itself, in Hyderabad, and 14 here in Maryland, and they worked around the clock for 90 days. They came up with a VA home product, and so that's when his really when his military part started taking off, and we have high traction with our military veterans and the VA home loans, which there's no money down. So it was, and I became very attracted because of the delinquency rate and what they were doing for the veteran. So that's the background.
Is NewDay USA exclusive for veterans, or can anybody sign up and do their mortgage through NewDay USA?
Veterans only. Right now, active duty or veteran personnel, because we do VA home loans at this point in time. We also do some FHA, and we're talking right now about going from FHA into conventional, so that if you're a son or daughter or a relative of a veteran, we'll help you as well. But we don't have that fully fleshed out. By this time next year, we'll be fully fleshed out with that, doing all types of loans for all types of veterans and their families.
Help our audience understand, what is FHA?
Federal Home Loan Assistance, and that's a government loan that it usually requires 20% down, 80% of home's value, and then you have the closing costs. But with the VA, the veterans, the VA home loan is a loan that our country gives to the veteran for their service, and backs it up with a 25% guarantee to the lender. And the beauty of it is no money down, and it's 100% loan to value. And that came in very valuable. It was very valuable to me in my career in the Navy, as many times I didn't have the money for the down payment of the home. So it was a free down payment, and the interest rates were usually very competitive. And so I really, and it was 100% loan to value. So gee whiz, if I wanted to buy a $100,000 home, I had to put $20,000 down for an FHA or conventional loan, and then I have the closing costs on top of that. So with a VA home loan, it's no money down; it's 100% loan to value. And the one that I bring to mind all the time to the young people here, I had command of a ship in Norfolk for 3 years, and from there I had orders to the Pentagon. My wife found a brand new home that she wanted. It was in the school district where she wanted to be, and it was 100% LTV loan, and the interest rate was 21%. So in January of 1981, look it up, 21%. And I look back on it, I say, I had to do everything but lie just to qualify. I don't know how I don't know how I qualified for that loan, but I never would have been able to do an FHA or conventional loan. I never would have been able to make the down payment on a normal house. And so I was very fortunate. I kept that house from 1986 till 1995 when I retired from the Navy. And we rented it out several times, but it was a fortunate thing for me. And so many of our soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and they spend 4 years or 6 years or maybe even longer time. But when they leave the military, they're anxious to get on with their civilian life or the next phase of their life, and they don't really listen when the transition people talk to them about VA home loans. And then, some years later, when they get ready to buy a home, there's a real estate agent. Oh, those VA loans they're difficult, they're hard, and they're complex, and all these things. But it's a tremendous benefit that and so many of our veterans don't know that they have that benefit given to them by the American people. And so that's part of our mission here, is just let the veteran know what a wonderful benefit the American people have given us for our service.
You mentioned conventional loans. We talked FHA. What's the difference between the two loans?
The only difference between the FHA is a government-sponsored loan, as the VA is, but a conventional is private lenders.
Okay, thanks. So let's say a military member or a veteran calls NewDay USA and they're looking for that support. Who's on the other end of that line? What are the qualifications of the employees in your organization?
A wonderful question because it gives me an opportunity to brag. We are a veteran-centric organization. We consider what we do a noble purpose. We say around here, we don't sell loans. We provide financial solutions to men and women who wore the uniform and made possible the freedoms and values that we cherish in this country. And now they're going to call one of my account executives who can be a 26, 28, 29, 30-year-old young person. They're not looking for a handout. They're looking for a handout. And it may be that, 90% of the force, as you know, is enlisted personnel. And whether you're enlisted or officer, we have so little financial literacy training in our country, whether it's in high school or even college. And so many people don't clearly understand. And so we give that first call. We treat every veteran with dignity, efforts, and respect. Every call is a 45-minute call. And where we really help out the veteran, if you got less than a 700 FICO score, most money lenders in this country they don't even know your last name. And so we say, hey, look, things happen to you that happen to me, that happen to all of us on planet Earth, whether it's a divorce, kids come home with kids, medical problem, tuition payments, taking care of parents. We all get behind at one time or another. And so they'll call us when everybody in the country is turning them down, and we'll spend 45 minutes with that veteran. How did you get that 650 FICO score? How that 625? What happened in your life? Where are you today? What are you doing? And if we can, the first words, all of our calls are recorded in and out, all are scripted. So the first words out of my account executive is, Mr. Mulberger, my Admiral Lynch said I have to do whatever I can do to help you get that loan. He's never heard that from anybody before. And for the first time, and we treat with dignity, deference, and respect, if we can possibly get him at home, we're going to do it and help him get that loan to get into home. Because that's your road to prosperity in this country. If you've rented all your life, and there's charts and figures to prove all this, but if you've rented all your life, when your legacy to your family when you pass on is like $10,000 to $15,000. If you have bought homes and you got equity in those homes and bought and sold through your life, your equity is $500,000, and that's just the average out there. So it's very, very important, and that we have a mission right here, a personal mission here at New Day. We want to get 1 million veterans in homes. It's good for the country. It's good for the veteran community. They deserve it, in my opinion. They've earned it, and we want to make sure we do that each and every day.
That's a wonderful preparation for gearing your employees to receive those veterans that are making those calls. Is there a specific training that those folks that work for you have to go through?
Absolutely. I mean, it's first of all, we hire young people right out of college. They don't have to have finance or math, but it's preferable if they do. But we come right out of college. We pay them a very good wage. We're talking about $65,000 a year to start off. And in that first year, but as I tell them, we vet the heck out of them because you had to go into college, had a minimum 3.0 GPA. You had to work your way at least 20 hours a week, work your way through college, because we're looking for young people who are hungry, humble, and smart. We know they're business smart, but do the right thing the right way at the right time. And that's what we're looking for, the quality person that we want to have interfacing with our veteran clients. And so then when they come here, the first thing that we do is we put them on calling out to our previous customers to see if they now may want to buy a home, or they want to upgrade their loan, or they may have something that changed in their life. So we have the experience on the phone for about a year, and then they go in what we call our boot camp, and they have to pass the federal test, the SAFE Act, and then they work under a mentorship of one of our top account executives here for about 6 months, and then they're finally on the phone. And we want to make sure that when that young person is on the phone, he's a full-up round. He's fully qualified. He understands. He can help that veteran, and he knows that if we can't, everybody wants to help everybody else around here. So if you have a question, you got a problem, we're going to do it. And I like to tell them, Because when I got out of the Navy, I got venture capital. I've been experienced so many different companies. I probably know intimately probably 100 different companies. And you could probably go to any CEO in America and he could say, these are my core values. Here at New Day, we live our core values. There's very few out there that live the core values: training, opportunity, integrity, resilience, giving back, all of these things that and overarching a philosophy of ship make self, which I brought from the Navy. Every thought, word, and deed, I think first, if I'm a sailor on a ship, what effects does this thought, word, or deed going to have on my ship? What is it going to do for my shipmates? And then I worry about myself. Our people are trained that way, to think that way when they're talking to the veteran on the phone, and just to be a good shipmate here at New Day. And it gives us that noble purpose that we're here to help the guy. And we're not going to, the veteran will not get a loan from us if it's not a net tangible benefit to the family. And if he doesn't have the means, he or she do not have the means to make the payments. And like I say, if the reason why we have to turn down that loan, then we work with him on what you need to do to qualify in the future. And we're very proud of what we've done. We are probably in this industry, it runs in cycles, and we've had a down cycle for the past 3.5 years now. And but we're very proud of the fact that we have been contrary to what the industry is saying. The industry says you got to fire or lay people off. We don't do that. We don't do that to our people. We hired during this period. We brought in 200 new people last year, young people right out of college, the best and brightest that you'd be proud of to have in your own family. In fact, I say there's not a young man or woman here at New Day, and we have about 500 right now, who I wouldn't trust my life with. And as my reputation when I'm out there, it is very important to me. And that's why I'm here every day. So I'm not here in Maryland. I'm in our office down in West Palm Beach every day. And so, I mean, you see, this is not for you. We all wear coats and ties here, and the ladies dress up. So we are a very, very professional organization. And I said we vet the heck out of them. Then we work the heck out of them. We work 6, 8, 9 hours a day, and then 9, 10 hours a day, and then half a day on Saturdays, twice a month. But it's a camaraderie, it's the love for one another, and it's the noble purpose for what we're doing for the veteran community. And affordability has been the biggest issue in the last few years. While the downturn in the economy and interest rates have gone up, although, as I said before, a 6% interest rate, I think right now we're giving 5.85 for a new home, but a 6% interest rate, that's like free money to me when I went through it as a commander, and it was a 21% interest rate. So, but anyhow, that's a high interest rate, and it's hurting people with affordability. Homes have increased. So we've come up with a program that we're extremely proud of called the New Day Home Advantage. And what that does, we finally get a veteran who can qualify, and he'll make the payments. He's paying right now over $5,000 a month in rent. He can call us within 30 minutes. We're going to qualify him for a loan that he's capable of. That's $400,000 home that he would like to buy. We connect him with a Admiral certified real estate agent who understands the VA process, who we know is very professional, and we have trained them and worked with them, and we have these agents throughout the country. And the big thing is that if you take the loan, but then you'll say, and the closing costs on a $400,000 home could be $12,000. And he says, Admiral, I've never had $12,000 in my bank account. I don't have that now. So what we're realizing, particularly in the age that we're living in right now, is that we say, okay, here's what we're going to do for you. We're going to give you a $12,000 non-secured personal loan. We're going to put it in escrow with the title company, and when you close that loan, then we'll pay that $12,000 closing cost. 30 days later, you get a $2,700 mortgage payment, and with that, a $400 payment to us for the unsecured loan at 9.9%. You can't get a 9.9% unsecured loan anywhere in this country. So we're doing that for the veteran to help him get in the home. And we're not trying to make any money on the veteran. But we tell him, if you pay off that loan within 12 months, we will rebate you all that interest. So we're not trying to make money on you. We're just going to help you get in the home And when you get in that home, that's your road to prosperity. For you, it's good for you, it's good for your family, it's good for us as Americans, and it's good for the nation. So that's why I'm 83 years old, but I love it here. I love the people here. I love what we're doing for the veteran community. And one of the greatest thrills I have is walk around the office here and I hear him talking to a veteran. Then let me talk to that. What ship are you on? Or where'd you go? What'd you do when you were in Iraq? And yeah, I was with you guys down in Panama. Just stuff like that makes it really exciting and fun for me. So I'm blessed. I feel very blessed.
Let's make sure that our audience knows how they can get a hold of NewDay USA. They can go online to NewDayUSA.com and they can learn more. So when folks reach out to you, they're on the phone and they're getting a hold of your folks. Is it either your location in Maryland or Florida that they're reaching out to, or are there folks that work from home and they're dialed in to an overall central location? Or do you have call centers?
We have the two offices in West Palm Beach, Florida, and Maryland. Nobody works from home. We all work from the office. We're a team work around here. Compliance is a big part of the mortgage lending business, and so we are very. We spend something like $15 million a year on compliance alone. And so when you call, you can get either office. We'll help you out or put you with an accounting executive who has a license for that state where you are, where you want to be. And we can do anything. If you're doing anything with your mortgage, you should talk to us. Hey, you might find a better rate out there somewhere. And that's great. You find a better rate and you get a better deal for yourself. I'm happy about that. That's another veteran that's going into a home. But I tell you, we care about the veteran more so than any company out there. Our delinquency rate, if it's not the lowest, it's probably among, I say, I just can't prove it, but I believe that we are the lowest delinquency rate of any mortgage lender out there. We take care of the veterans. It's been proven, and they come back to us repeatedly. We'll be coming up with so many things going forward. We have something called Veteran Strong, where we're giving every veteran, any veteran, you could call us, and we give you a $1 billion credit card fraud protection, make you a partner with Experian, and they'll check your credit rating, they'll help you. You want to buy a car, your wife wants to buy a diamond ring, you need to buy a ring for Christmas or whatever. This is what's going to do your credit score. Monthly, you'll get your update on what your FICO score is, financial literacy, and all at no charge. And credit card identity theft protection. That's probably going to cost you $500 a month if you be that private. We're giving that to you free. And we're going to be doing many more things like that. Roadside assistance, helping with your taxes. But as we grow and we gain more veterans, the more we can give that back to the veteran, we're going to do it and continue to do it for as long as I'm around. But I hope that's going to be another 10, 15 years. But the CEO, Rob Foster, he's 56 years old this year. So he's got another 50 years to help out veterans. So we're pretty strong on that.
If you know one success story that you could share with regards to a veteran that you landed a house for, if you could share that moment in time.
Well, the joy I get from being in this job is that I get emails, phone calls, and letters daily thanking me. And if I had all of my people, all 500 people, how many of you have had a veteran cry on the phone? Every hand goes up like that. So that's my satisfaction. But I can't remember his last name now, but we had a vetting sergeant down in North Carolina. And for some reason, I was down in the area. And so I stopped to see him the day that he was moving into his house. And with tears in his eyes, he says, Admiral, when I was on active duty in the Marine Corps, I worked on $200 million airplanes. And now people wouldn't trust me with a $400,000 mortgage. He said, only you guys did it. And that's why I love you guys. And his tears were hung up.
Ladies and gentlemen, when we're talking with folks on Veterans Corner Radio, we say that our veterans are worth their value in gold. We've been talking to a gentleman who certainly exceeds that standard. We've been speaking with retired United States Navy Rear Admiral, 2-star Admiral, Thomas Lynch. of NewDay USA. And if you want to learn more, go to NewDayUSA.com. Admiral, thank you so much for your time today.
And I might say, Joe, if they call and they say, I'm going to talk to that Admiral, I'm here. I'm here for them.
Outstanding. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Joe.
You've been listening to Veterans Corner Radio with your host, retired United States Air Force Lieutenant Colonel Joe Muhlberger. The views expressed on this program are those of Joe and his guests and are opinions based on the best available information. In matters of law or governmental regulation, it will always be best to check with the appropriate agency. Thanks for listening, and we hope you'll join us for the next program on Veterans Corner Radio.